What's up, everybody? Welcome to our Friday Blitz stream. I'm taking challenges here. 5+3 this morning for 2 hours. I have to leave abruptly at 1 o'clock. We have from 11 to 1 o'clock, 2-hour Blitz stream. Let's grab a warm-up game here. Nobody has increment going on. Andre, 5+3. Let's do a 3+2, 3+0, something quick. All right, there's a 5-0. Let's just do that. Just a quick warm-up game. Little 5-0 to get the blood flowing. Matrix 2-9. What's up, Masturbate guys? Don't forget there's a simul on Sunday. We are live. Aggressive move for my opponent now. Going into a kind of Dutch with b6. That's not a good move. Bishop b4 attacking the air is not normal. Not really a normal idea there, bud. I don't think it's very effective with nothing to attack there. So, knight d4. Looks like black already has problems. Bad, it's a bad Queen's Indian. Then I get a message, Lenovo installed updates. I know, because you just delayed my work by 5 minutes. Do we want to win a pawn? Yes. But we can't. But we can't, unfortunately. Matrix. Mistakenly thought I could gain material here. So I don't really have much after all. Strange. He's 1,000 in rapid chess. Oh, that's reassuring. Shit. I should have checked before I played this opponent. Here we go again. Maybe he just lost all his games. This looks interesting. Knight b5. Maybe he lost all his games on time. I don't know. Knight b5, my knight is trapped. So my position is already looking a little dubious. He uses no time. Oh well. It's just a casual game. This doesn't bode well. I like how he's 1,000 in rapid chess. 1,600 in classical 1 game. Okay, whatever. h3, knight g4 is a problem there. Where is my knight going? Just getting positionally outplayed by a 2,000. Right. Now a4 is dropping. Oh, that's defended. How convenient. His play is pretty systematic. I really have to be more careful who I challenge. 2049. Now knight e4. Let's see, bishop e7. I mean, maybe I'm okay here. He does have some weaknesses on d5. You read that streamers are more likely to get viewers than those who don't. What does that mean, Asabate? Can you please elucidate? He just dropped a rook on d8 with check. What? Guess he's on a computer. Oh no, not interested in a rematch. Anyway, our brain is working. Carlson's lawyer. Interesting. I don't think he's suspect, but I get paranoid when people are like 1,000 in rapid chess and 2,000 in blitz. All right. Anyways, he probably like forfeited 4 games on time or something in his rapid rating. Okay, let's get some challenges out there. Juicebox here just to watch. And what are you doing, man? You're they've got a Russian troll farm extension in Southeast Asia now. They're doing that in Africa. They're farming out. They're outsourcing their troll operations. Maybe you can get some. Maybe you can get some work there. All right. Anyway, guys, the whole world is freaking out about coronavirus. Don't panic. Everyone should read The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Very, very important skill in life and gaming and whatever, you know. Do not panic. Ever. Especially in chess. It's a very important skill to have. If you're in a bad position, I mean, the worst thing you can do is panic. If you can retain your sort of composure. I mean, I've saved so many lost positions. Think of coronavirus as a bad position that we can save. All right. While we're waiting for a challenge, beat a player where all the players' move were best stockfish. I won with mate because McQueen looked like it was hanging. I love the way you English acerbate. Stockfish missed mate. Juicebox, you can start. You're watching on your phone. You can start an investigation. Yeah, I was reading an article in BBC about how the Russians actually started outsourcing troll operations to Nigeria and Ghana. Probably call centers in India could pick up some slack. 10-year-old challenged me to 5+3. All right. Guys, we're taking challenges 5+3. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. B3. If you drop mate, you avert all submission. Submission for next week's subscriber stream are welcome. What's up, guys? Doubly fianchettoing. 10-year-old is a classic King's Indian style player, though they now play D5. I expected D6. So that's a little surprise. A minor surprise, but D5's fine. Thought he was going to play King's Indian. So now he could play C5, I guess. That's probably critical. We get a Blobix type setup. I mean, if C5, C4, D4, and then I end up in some kind of weird reverse Benoni. He's listening to me. We can play E3 or D3. Is C4, D4 just bad for white? C4, D4, E3, knight C6, ED4, CD4. Not a great Queen's Indian is how I would pronounce it. Got refunded points to your Smurf account. I reported a guy in Blitz the other day for account abuse. It was like a 2200 playing in a thousands account. I mean, it was clear, you know, it wasn't a computer. It was just multiple players with 1,000 different strength. And they got banned, but I didn't get the points refunded. It cost me like 22 points. I'm pretty disappointed. You know, the 22 points is kind of heavy. I would like to get that back. But I'm not going to complain. At least they banned him. You know, I know the difference between 1,000 and a 2,000 or 2,200 player. This was clearly like a really strong bullet player. It was a draw, actually. I was lost, but I hung on for a draw. A really, really tough game. It was like an hourly blitz tournament. It was supposed to be 1,000. It was ridiculous. But I did like a juice box. I investigated him. I traced him to like one of his follower accounts that had been banned. So basically what had happened was the guy's account got banned for rating manipulation. And then so he started outsourcing his play to other accounts. Naturally, when your Smurf account gets banned, okay, fine, we'll double the pawns. Why? Ask why. So now there's an interesting question. Should we play d3 or should we not? Should I stay or should I go? Knight c3, yeah, knight e4. Knight a4. It's interesting. But knight c3 allows e5 and his center is pretty strong. Yeah, why am I rejecting this natural move? Only last 30 or something games get refunded. Well, I think it's just like somebody has to click a button, basically, or maybe do it manually. A lot of times they forget, which is fine. I think if you remind them, maybe they'll send you the points. But I don't feel like being greedy. Hey, give me my points back. I want to put my knight on a4, but this is more fundamental. I know you like investigations, Juicebox. Why don't you hook up with the federal government and get yourself a job? You could be a CIA spy or something. Bishop h3. All right. Undercover agent Juicebox. Probably better to go into business for yourself. Better money. Maybe he already is. You're going to be getting a job. So bishop h3 trades pieces, as we all know. Probably a good move. He's got a lot of pawns on white squares. Because my knight's here, I don't have play on that pawn. He can also play a5. I don't really know what I should do. Just make a steady developing move. A steady diet of developing moves. I suppose you could play f4. That's kind of a classic. Queen's Indian. Been trying for weeks to get a visa for Afghanistan. Dude, you're not normal. He wants to work on a poppy farm in Afghanistan. All right. Queen's Indian like position. Yeah, I mean, this was the advantage. If I could somehow play knight c3, knight a4, you have more direct chance of picking the c5 pawn off, but I don't like this position for black a lot. This is really like paranoia. Probably he's not threatening anything there. There was really no reason to move my bishop. But I don't think it's detrimental. Maybe it's just a waste of time. That is detrimental. Knight takes e4. damn it. Maybe I ought to just play like... Now he's gonna meet e4. Knight e4, bishop g7. That's not a problem. I'm not really sure what I'm threatening here. Probably nothing. White is threatening nothing. Be careful. But here he's potentially just dropping his e7 pawn. So take, and he grabs the e file, kicking my queen out to a very strange position on g5. But a pawn is a pawn. I don't know. Is it worth losing the e file and giving black activity to win that e7 pawn? I feel like I lose control over the position if I do that. See, that's something that I strive for and I strive to teach on the stream, is the whole concept of our general theme is to dominate and control the game. We don't want to lose control of the situation, you know? Does that make me a control freak? Perhaps. Flexibility. I could have won a pawn, but I refused it. Refused it because I wanted to keep greater control overall of the position. What about f5 here? Again, the e file will be my problem. Exactly. Reading my mind. It's hard to find a way forward here, other than a general kind of pawn storm on the king side. I wonder if I should have just won that pawn, finally. He really is defending this extremely well. That break with c4 would mess me up. You got your rapid rating up to provisional 1800. Wow, that's impressive, dude. 1800 is solid. Over your head. Extremely hard to make progress here. I feel like I'm overextending myself now. But whatever. h4 has got to be overextending. God. He's loving this position. Yes, white is slightly better. I don't think the double pawns are that significant. Finally. If only he could get a knight here. Whoa, what is that? I think he's... Huh. That's interesting, actually. Wow. It's quite an approach. What a pawn sack by black. Seconds left. I mean, objectively, white should be winning. But it's not too easy. Objectively. Now it's pretty difficult. I don't know why I bothered to do that check. Probably makes life more difficult for me. That's a poor move. Why? Why not go to e6 here? Is it too slow? King g5? He yielded me a lot of space with that move. That's a tough game. 50 moves. All right. We've played this player before. 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 All right. King f7 is terrible, but I feel like I should be winning anyway. You have to try king e6. Is it going to make a difference, though? I mean, king e6, king e4, king d6, king d4, king c6. I don't think it makes a difference. Ultimately, we should still be winning. Yeah. Funny that king f7 is the engine's choice. I don't know why, though. Why would king f7 be better than king e6? It's like ridiculous. How does the computer decide that? Doesn't make any sense to me. You know, how could king f7... If it loses, but it loses with less space. I don't know. Maybe there's some variation where you're hanging around the king side and winning my king side pawn or something. Like king f7, king g7, king h6, king h5, king h4. Is that possible? You would just get it from the front. I mean, the other way. Königs... How do you call it in German? Rook e1. Rook e1. Not typically played with c4. But I probably faced this before. Black could just lose a tempo here. Or we can transpose to a... What would that be anyway? You're playing like let's see. Knight d7. I could play bishop f5, knight c3, knight e4. Bishop f5, knight h4 though. Yeah, rook e1 is not a good move, but it's interesting. Also, knight e4 is probably interesting. It's not a bad move. It's not a great move. It just sounds, it's just different. Yeah, it's a strange name. It's a strange name for someone who's supposed to be from America. I would think. Maybe it's a VPN. Actually, you don't need a VPN. You can put whatever country you want. I mean, does that actually United States? The bin sounds German. I don't know what it means. Is that some German word? There's Bin Laden. I think that's what you're thinking. Subraman. Could be anything. I wouldn't try to figure it out. I don't think there's a logic behind it. The flag is free. Flag is free. You don't even need a VPN. You just put whatever stinking flag you want. You could be from Antarctica. Right? No coronavirus. I'm moving to Greenland. Queen c2 and rook e1. Seems like a strange combo. Now we have takes and d5. Knight takes d4, knight takes e4. That actually doesn't work. So ed4, knight d4. There is knight g4. Bronstein would eat you alive here. ed4, knight d4, knight g4. It's a little too early for that. We can play ed4, knight d4, d5. Yeah, actually ed4, knight d4, d5. Looks pretty strong. What's he going to do? Well, this at least equalizes for black. Because the rook is unprotected on e1. But it's a bullet player who doesn't think about really trying to play the best moves. I'm constantly bitching and griping. People think they don't understand the difference between 5 plus 3 and 1, 0, you know? But it's like champagne and beer. There is a significant difference. Maybe he actually has something here. This is weird. Yeah, I expected that to be played on the previous move. Huh. There's something tricky to this. You know, it's like some bizarre trap. Like he's trying to get me to do that. It's no doubt like inaccurate for white, but I didn't exploit it the correct way. And this position looks totally wrong for white. The unprotected knight there. But I don't know. It's strangely defended by knight takes d4, knight takes e4, rook takes e4. I'm sure we'll find something with the engine after the game. Strange. So I've got nothing now. I might have equalized. He actually missed an extremely strong move before. Much, much stronger than bishop g5. Looks like it's like knight cb5. CBBBs. Knight cb5 threatening knight c7. I might just be in desperate lost position, almost lost position. Because the queen ends up being perfect here. So my plan was bad. I think he might have really had like a winning position after this move. d5 is actually turning out to be a blunder. Strange. He's omitted the normal h3, which is typical. Seems like there should be something for black, but it's all just an empty nothingness. So now we just trade pieces. I have to be careful to be equal. I mean, bishop takes e4. What's he supposed to do? I might even prefer rook takes. So you equalize, but you trade off everything. All the center pawns are gone. No E, no D, no C. No C. Lo no C. No lo sé. There's no C's, D's, or E's. And the whole middle of the alphabet is gone. My keyboard. The number keys. Astrid, how do you feel about playing for cheapos? Ace or bait? You're good at it? Man, I'm having some weird hallucination now. Hey, this is not a bad move. Dropped a pawn. God damn it. Now that's sensible. Sense and sensibility. Unfortunately, king takes. Living on the edge. With Aerosmith. Living on the edge. My God, man. There's got to be something here. How is he not lost in this position? It's ridiculous. I guess he is lost, but it's not that easy. F4. I was expecting F3. It's amazing that there's no forced win. Osmir's readings from France, thank you. How are things in France? What's up now? Drop my b7 pawn. This may or may not work. It's not the most accurate move order, but maybe necessary. Takes, check. Check. It's a repetition draw? The time used by this guy is like ridiculous. Maybe you should focus on trying to play the best moves instead of just moving fast, guy. Imagine how good he could be if he actually took his time. It's kind of scary. Putting your energy into the wrong thing. Waste of energy on the time. So you have 42 seconds. Enjoy it. All right. Yeah, that's interesting. Was it just a forced win for me? To bishop d4. Yeah. It's a good move. Much stronger than the routine rook takes d2, trading pieces. Astrobate, did you see that one? That's an awesome move. Anyway, not to gloat, but we don't get to play pretty moves very often. Okay, Ninjago. So, stick with what we know. Guys, I've got to leave at 11, so slightly shorter stream today. Due to American time difference, I've got to meet someone earlier than I normally would. We've got a 3-week gap between the time change in the West, North America. And here in Europe, unfortunately, which is really ridiculous. Another player playing super fast. Does anybody take their time? Notice Attila Turza was streaming. Slow chess or something like that. My countryman. Does he play on here or the site that shall not be named? Don't even know. All right. D6, what's up? So now it's 11:42 a.m. I have to leave at 1. Thanks for being a subscriber, troll. How's your Smurf account? Guys, we're gonna be back on Sunday with the Simul, my flagship stream every Sunday at 6:30 CET. This is a bad move, giving up that dark square bishop on e3. The only move that you can get away with is probably bishop b5. If you're willing to part with that dark square bishop. I had a game like this actually 2 years ago. Well, I mean, you have more than one troll account. on Twitch, right? I don't mean like a lichess account. Queen takes e3, e6, or g6. That's the decision that's hard to make. I played this against the 2200 a few years ago in the Hungarian Team Championship, Budapest Team Championship it was. I won. There's Kormos Adam, who's like 2200. I don't understand how someone can play this line with white, be 2200, you know, and not know, like, not to give up your dark square bishop on e3. There are rumors that Karpov allowed this once with white, but I couldn't find the game. Queen takes e3, e6, bishop e2. My opponent castle queenside. I mean, if you don't do anything, you're just going to have no dark square bishop and be worse. Admittedly, like, black's bishop isn't great. It's not exactly... This white square bishop isn't great. But that's not our advantage. Our advantage is this monster on e7. There's all the squares, you know, that are going to be very relevant for the rest of the game. Basically, white's side of the position on the dark squares, he's going to be vulnerable to my dark square bishop for the rest of his life. And that's what you got to really look for when you're black here. Imagine this diagonal opens up. That's immediately like asking for some danger. But I don't think the d5 is right yet. World Loser, I noticed you were online on Twitch earlier. So actually by castling queenside now, it looks it goes back to something like what I had in the Budapest Team Championship. I did some sort of queen b6 and traded queens. Almost identical position, actually. We ended up trading queens pretty quickly, and I thought the endgame was just better for black. That's one thing I don't have to, like, kill him in the middle game. The classic saying is that black is always better in the Sicilian in the endgame. All endgames are better for black in the Sicilian, because generally white is like overextending a lot of times with the pawns in open Sicilian. World Loser, how are things for our old moderator and friend from Poland? Bill Skinner, I saw you put a question in there about that on lichess. About chess notation, would you say that in French Windower the notation is knight on g to e2? Or knight e2 is correct? Or both would be okay? Well, I mean, I think that it's okay to say knight e2 in that case, because the other knight to e2 is illegal. Right? But I'm not an expert, obviously. This is almost identical to the game I was mentioning. You know, I suppose since it's illegal, it needs you can omit it, you know. Batman is Superman. Queen d4, knight d4. It's on chess.com in their opening book. Oh, I said the word. You're not allowed to say that here. Queen d4, knight d4, rook d4, a6, knight a4. That's the problem. b5, knight b6, rook b8, knight c8, rook c8. Close to equality. No, I wouldn't mind that position so much against a high-rated player. If I was playing Magnus Carlsen, I wouldn't mind going to that ending where I'm equal. But we're trying to win in the current situation. Oh, man. I don't know. I guess A6. I mean, it's like a rouser where he just like traded off his bishop on F6 for no reason whatsoever. It's like he went bishop G5, bishop takes F6, bishop takes F6, and then I move the bishop back to E7. But you can't really justify not having a dark square bishop here for white still. Zenchess subscribed to tier 1. 24 months, that's 2 years. 2 years of Zen chess. Missed our tournament on Tuesday. I wouldn't trust anything that website does, like knowing anything about chess. I mean, chess.com was created by people who know nothing about chess. They just had like $100,000 and bought a domain name. I mean, and then they built a chess site around, around that domain name. It's not like it was built by like chess lovers, It was just sort of artificially created as a business idea. Here we go again. What are you talking about, Jim? Only tier 1? Troll in a roll. Exactly, only tier 1 troll in a roll. Unbelievable. We all should be like Asterbait. Alright, so he goes for it with G4. But now, I mean, I'm liking this a little bit better. Knight A4. No. I'm liking this better. We can stop Knight A4. That's a key idea. If he could trade off my bishop pair, he would equalize. I mean, to be fair, like, opposite-colored bishops can be very sharp, of course. But at least it would increase his chance of equalizing. I mean, I don't know if it's better to play bishop B7. I feel like that's flirting with an exchange of bishops that I don't really want to make. So better to just play rook B8. But black's advantage here is rather small. What can I do? Maybe bishop B7 is better. At the end of the day, I don't know. Maybe I should have just played that. It would have been a little smoother operation, I guess. I just don't want to trade pieces. Now what's he doing? Where are you going? You're not allowed to put a knight anywhere good. Some aggressive intentions here. With h4, h5, it would appear. I have e5 now. Actually, let's do that. Freeze. Mr. Freeze. I, however, don't mind trading rooks. Really don't mind trading rooks. I like this minor piece endgame. Not sure if I should trade both rooks though. Like one set of rooks seems sort of optimal. He's fast though. Look at this. Feel the speed. Don't really want to take that. So his deal is that he's like ultra fast. I didn't realize that. Going into this thing. What? Free is for me. He's just dropping everything. Yeah, he's just freaking out now. Too many pawns for free. At some point he was equal. But now he's like lost. Devaluation. Currency devaluation. Connected pawns. Nice move though. Ooh, rook f2 is not a great square. My favorite pawns. This is just like a game I had like the other day. It's funny. Except it was like a rook ending. It was always under control. But I think he had equalized at some point. Alright, that's just annoying. Repeated re-challenges. Okay, I got time for no rated games. Okay. Played once before. We are not taking the subscribers out of order today. It's Friday. I try to be fair once a week. Blake the Game I won. Donated $10. Timeout. You wanted Simon Williams. Now I watch a salmon stream. Bear Williams. Salmon stream. Zenchess donated $10. You guys, did you do a Streamlabs donation? Or on PayPal? That's awesome, man. Thank you. I win more games with 2 connected pass pawns than any other single thing. But we did have a very similar endgame the other day. It looks like Liam likes the white side of the accelerated dragon. He's playing quickly here. A difference, Sicilian. Now this move is an inaccuracy. Shades of the last game. Queen d2, knight g4, knight c6, bc6. Bishop d4, e5, bishop c5. I've seen that before. If I castle d5 equalizes for black. If f3, d5. Knight g4 is not that clear there. I mean, this file here is usually kind of dangerous. Queen A5. This might be a mistake, actually. I'm not sure. But what am I supposed to play? I'm sure that D5 is a good pawn sacrifice here. Never faced this move order. Also interesting move is now Rook B8. Just literally sacrificing a pawn with tempo to open the A file or what have you. He'll go bishop d4. No, which position? Here? You could play it here, I guess. Maybe I just play d6 in that case. It's hard to suggest a good move for white. Guys, I only have till 1 o'clock, so 1 hour left. Queen d2 was played? Alright. So I win a pawn. It's hard to suggest anything better than queen d4, b3, knight e4, queen e4. Rook e1, then queen h4. It's only a pawn though. Knight e4, queen a2. Doesn't work, does it? Oh my gosh, no. Knight e4, queen a2. Queen c3 or something. It's just ridiculous. Probably I have some strong move like d5 here. This may well be a mistake. I don't know. Maybe I better. I like how, yeah, they're cranking out new IMs I've never even heard of in the United States. I don't know who that guy is. Some kid from New York. The new Morphe. I've been away from home so long that now there's a whole new generation of chess players I've never even heard of. It's kind of a weird name, but I make fun of everyone. Chess athletic. At least my name doesn't have any connotation at all. You sent away for your IM kit, 1995? Is that what he's doing? Sounds very Susan Polgari. But that would be like $500 for the GM kit. I want to get the GM kit. Does he sell those yet? Maybe not. They're not available yet. He comes sometimes at your stream, but he's exclusive on the Forbidden website. Yeah, also, I don't know him. I mean, they're too young. But I like the thing about Levy, looks like he He appreciates, like, unlike most people his age, he seems to appreciate real chess more than most, which is good. Not just about playing bullet chess. Very rare these days. White is active here. Rook ending up a pawn. The endgame technique. All right, so c5, is that a threat or promise? That was one of my dad's favorite jokes. Old school American jokes. Get yours here. Is it a threat or a promise? I don't know. I like being up pawns in rook games. Who doesn't? White really fast? Ridiculously fast? He's 1695 in classical chess. What? Damn, dude. Yeah, but somehow gym chess athletics would make more sense. That would make more sense if his name was Chess Athletics. But it's Chess Athletic. Which almost makes it sound like he doesn't speak English or something. You know, it's like a Russian troll. Sorry, troll, no offense, but those Facebook posts by people where they're like making like grammatical mistakes or not putting S on the end of words where it should be there and stuff. I like my central pawns. I like my pawns in general. We have two levels of pawns. Open file too. The second wave. Second wave of coronavirus. Wave 1 and wave 2. Yeah, but rich kids from New York City are always high rated, Jim. It's sociological. It's not based on objective strength. You can just afford to go to more tournaments than most people. The middle class kids like me simply can't afford to go to the same tournaments. That's why I refer to him as the new Morphe. That's quite typical, actually. But I mean, I talked about this. It's one of the reasons why, like Hungary, like no one has any rating points. Like the wealthier people have all the rating points. We should all be voting for Bernie. Why am I supporting Joe Biden for president? If you want rating points, more equitable rating points distributed by socioeconomic factors. All right, dude, that's it. You've discriminated against my rook long enough. Liam LK playing a great endgame for a player who's got a low classical rating, actually. Playing this amazingly. Really patient and fast. Jeez. Brutal, dude. But I mean, if I could go to like any tournament I want, and mom and dad would pay for it, I would probably be a GM too. I mean, I don't know. It's a big advantage. That's why Morphy became the greatest player in the world. He was financially, basically, completely financially independent. He was a genius too, though, which didn't hurt. But I found that rich kids generally have more opportunities. Like Donald Trump. Somehow, I don't think Donald Trump would be president if his dad wasn't like a billionaire. But, you know, whatever. But again, as I was talking about earlier, okay, this is getting kind of annoying now. Liam LK is just constantly pestering me. Extremely, like, persistent. And, like, absurdly fast. That was probably an inaccuracy by me. I'm just making up stuff, guys. I don't mean to discriminate against rich people. It's not right. It's just not right to discriminate against the rich and wealthy. All right. Anyway. All right. Osmir is up next. Mule Skinner. We've got plenty of time left. 50 minutes. You guys are fast, I have to say. The fastest. It's always passed pawns that win in the endgame. It's the weirdest coincidence. The rich are people too. Yeah, it's not right. I should be shamed on social media for insulting the rich. Great movie, Soylent Green. Actually appropriate now. Kind of appropriate with the zombie apocalypse going on outside. Oh, here we go. Biden represents... I had an argument with this idiot on Facebook yesterday, which I almost never do, but it was a friend's Facebook post. I posted something and I started to get involved with this guy who just started to argue with me. It was so annoying. I just had to stop. They were comparing Joe Biden to Hillary Clinton and saying they were the same. I was like, what planet are you from? Hillary Clinton is like a carpetbagger who didn't even live in New York State and like went there and got herself elected as senator. You know? She's nothing like Joe Biden. They're not even remotely similar. All right. 95. The far left progressives are up in arms. But we have more important things to do. You know? How can you compare Hillary Clinton to Joe Biden? It's like ridiculous. Greedy corporate Democrats. That's exactly this sort of... That's one thing they have in common, you know? But it's like you're not talking about the other 100 differences between them. You're just massively generalizing. Who is like, you know, what politician isn't like greedy, except for Bernie Sanders? who nobody likes. This is an interesting approach by black. Queen c7, bishop b5. I'm kind of sleeping through this game here. Letting Bob. How is that woman in the presidential primary still? You know, I don't understand. It's like just so she can write some books and make some money or something. Tulsa. Whoever heard of her? King f1. I think she just wants to write a few books. She's ridiculous. The ire of Hillary Clinton. I mean, I hated Hillary Clinton. It angers me that people would compare her to Joe Biden, who seems like a decent person. I mean, every politician inherently is like selfish and probably corrupt. Why would you go into politics if you weren't corrupt? It's just a matter of weeding, you know, the really bad ones out. The one we have now. It's kind of like chess organizers. Like, who would want to, like, no normal person would want to be like a chess organizer or a chess politician. Since nobody normal wants to do it, like, you have to accept these really horrible, you know, people. Nobody normal wants to be a politician. It's just a matter of choosing the lesser of the evils. Any sporting organization, they're always like corrupt. The people that run them are corrupt. I mean, it's the same with politics. Some are less corrupt than others. Like the current FIDE administration for chess, slightly less corrupt than the former, which is an improvement. Like wanting to be a cop, yeah, exactly. All right. It's a job that nobody truly decent wants to do. Because it's like unpleasant and people hate you. But as I pointed out to my friend, like, you know, Sanders is not going to win. He's going to lose to Donald Trump. And so there's no choice. There's no even discussion anymore. I mean, anyway, I'm not going to argue with you, Bob. I don't know if you're just pulling my leg or if you're serious, but thanks to God, it's like over, you know. For the first time, I'm optimistic that Donald Trump won't be president come November or January 1st. The first time in 2 years that I'm a very pessimistic person by nature. Well, I mean, Biden is running away with it now. But Sanders will just like... The problem now is that Sanders is going to drag it out and basically suck off all the energy, you know, slowing down the momentum so that they can't unite to make it more difficult to win the general election. Which is kind of like what happened last time. Oh, Bob, all right, Bob's just... Statistically, what? Like every poll in the world says the opposite of what you're saying, Bob. Blue collar Americans in Pennsylvania are not going to vote for Bernie Sanders, who's painted as a far left socialist. He's like poisonous, dude, to the general public. I'm not saying that he's a bad guy, and he's, it's just that not you or me, but the people that live in the swing states in the United States are not going to buy that, man. You know, they're not going to buy that. They're never going to vote for Bernie Sanders because he's painted as he's going to take away your rights. He's a socialist, and they'll believe it. It's too easy to beat Sanders by painting him as this extreme socialist. It's already in the cards. You can't find a cleaner politician in today's climate than Biden. Can make up crazy things about Ukraine or whatever and his son, but the guy's basically been almost like perfect. You can't get any dirt on him. He's totally solid. The only argument is that he's old and he's got dementia or whatever, which is completely possible, but basically made up. He seems kind of like he could have some sort of cognitive impairment based on age or something. I don't know. Of course you need something more fresh, man. All right, Mule Skinner. Bob, do you actually play chess at all, by the way? Or you just come to my stream to talk politics? I'm just curious. It's kind of strange, dude. Are we doing Corona after presidential election? Maybe we'll have some Corona tonight. I don't know. Mule Skinner with the English with F5 here. F5, D4, E4. You played in a Sima last night. Did you actually play or did you lose the 6 moves and talk trash to distract the streamer? Mark Kessler, I guess you don't know how the Friday works, but we don't take subscriber streams, subscriber challenges first on Fridays. Sorry to disappoint you, but this is the way we do it on Fridays. Nice try, Bob, to tilt me, but it didn't work. Almost. So we've got about 40 minutes left. Yeah, I saw that Uber driver, but I don't think that would fly. I don't know. If you're vice president, well, I guess you could be vice president on the condition that you can't become president. I mean, is that possible? If that's possible, then maybe it's true. Obama could be vice president, just not have the ability to become president. So then he could be vice president, and Nancy Pelosi would be president if the president died. I suppose. Technically, that might be possible, Uber driver. But it would probably provoke all sorts of insane complaints and lawsuits. It wouldn't be worth it. Bishop e7 is an interesting move here. Right, right. You can't be president more than twice. The problem, if you see, the problem, Bob, what happens is when you leave a dictator like Trump in power for too long, you have countries like the Soviet Union and Hungary where you have a permanent president who changes the constitution of his country and elects himself forever. That's the problem with leaving Donald Trump in office. You'll have Ivanka Trump for president for 20-year terms after a few years. You lose democracy. You have 10-year terms of Ivanka and the other Trump children. It's a very, very fragile thing, democracy, Bob. Surprisingly fragile. Hungary was headed toward democracy 10 years ago, and now it's a dictatorship almost. Russia was headed toward democracy. Now it's completely reversed. It's much more fragile than you think. Americans seem to think like their democracy is a guaranteed sure thing. It's not. I think it's a lot more likely you could lose it than you think. Whatever's left of it, man, will be gone. So you might as well move to Russia. They'll crack down on your internet trolling. I think you should go there, actually. You should hook up with you be a natural. Maybe Africa. I was talking to Juicebox, your friend, earlier, seeing if we could get him some job setting up a troll farm in Africa. Lower rent there. Man, this looks really weird for black. Take care, Mule Skinner. Thanks for joining us for the political stream. This is surprisingly tricky. Who is Ignace? So, 1900 bullet. I feel like I'm on the verge of overextending myself with d6. But bishop on a7, laying in wait. You never understand the bishop on a7. I understand it. I could forget about it. That's what I understand. Not sure if I should even take this pawn, frankly. Knight f5, queen e5, check, queen e7. With a very slightly better endgame for black, for white, excuse me. Knight f5, queen e5, knight f5. Oh no. Oh no. Well, I guess knight e4. seems okay. Slightly awkward. Right, Africa's owned by China. It's not so clear. Africa's owned by China and Russia. I was looking at the map for coronavirus. Looks like Greenland, parts of Africa, Madagascar and Greenland are like the safest places momentarily. And Antarctica, obviously. But I think there's a bidding war going on for Africa now. It's not so clear, Zen Chess. There may be like a World War III. China's like fighting Russia over Africa. Maybe they can have like some sort of deal. They'll make some sort of deal for the territory. Reminds me of Risk. Alright, bishop g5, bishop h6. This guy is playing some weird chess here. I'm going to forget about that threat, man. I really ought to get developed. But the problem is he's starting f5. Yeah, it does seem like they get along. They've learned to deal with each other. Jim. Mr. Coffee here? Was he here earlier? Trying to rein Bob in. I didn't see him. Do you guys see Mr. Coffee? I think the professional wrestling analogy is excellent, though. That's one of the more constructive things you contributed to the stream in a long time, Bob. Bishop b8. A new avenue. I love endgames. I'm going to get t-shirts printed. That should be merch. At the Rapid tournament last Saturday, it's like I love endgames so much, I intentionally like give grandmasters better endgames. I'm always trying to trade the queens, even to my own detriment against strong players. The animosity, man, I'm very upset. The world is I'm just taking it out on you, Bob. Don't take it personally. The world is caving in, man. We got coronavirus, President Trump. It's not your fault. The guy on Facebook made me angry last night. You were basically defending his argument. I was not happy about fighting with a troll on Facebook. I don't do that generally. I don't argue with people on social media about politics. Sort of got sucked into it by accident. It's almost as much a waste of time as bullet chess. Yeah, he was like a progressive from Massachusetts. One of these like really hardcore progressives. An academic from the Boston area. I guess. I don't know. Man, what a defense by black here, actually. But I deserve a medal for concentrating. He's got the bullet ability baked in. How's your space doing here? How's your knight? Oh, it's the king and pawn endgame. Extra tempo. Now it's lost. Just go grab all the pawns. That could be a mistake, actually. We've got 30 minutes, a little less than 30 minutes left. It's always the passed pawns, every single game. The passed pawns are the soul of chess. So this is a pretty strong player, Lin Hao Cheng, 2189. Generally, I don't like to play new accounts. Just kind of borderline. 59 games. Whatever. Bob, did you ever stop to think that maybe you're a little paranoid? All these people that think the media is out to get them. You know? The media is out to get us. The media started coronavirus. It's not real. Just made up. All right. The only person manipulating me is you, Bob. At the moment. Or entity. That's paranoid thinking. The media is just an industry. They're just trying to make money. I mean, it's... It may be influencing me, but it's not a personal thing, you know. You're personally trying to influence me. Stopping queen b4. Whoever this is seems like a really strong player. I guess stronger than 2189. Let me just check. Is it like 59-0 or something? No. Well, that's good. It's not 59-0. Bishop b2. Actually, bishop b2, knight f2. Bishop b2, knight f2, bishop f5, queen e3 check. Could be kind of dangerous. I'm trying to manipulate people to play chess better. Bob, you really should start your own stream instead of trolling mine. Philosophy with Bob. I have to raise my chess rates to $50 an hour. Then I'll get back to you. Look at the bishop g6. I wonder if he's intending to play like bishop h5. Actually, if he was intending that, he could probably play bishop g4 right away. Might not be a bad move, actually. I mean, it's just like a BOGO. We have this unopposed bishop on the long diagonal, which gives white some edge. Uber driver, that's a perverse idea. Queen a1. We have to play queen a1. Reti is overrated. Like, I'm serious. I try to never play queen a1. It's a romantic. It's kind of a romantic concept. But at the end of the day, I mean, the queen is always like badly placed out there. I mean, he'll end up playing f6. It's a little bit like a Budapest. I want to say Blumenfeld. A Budapest gambit structure for black. Queen h1. I did that once against Helgi Olafsson in a blitz game to miraculously win a horrible lost position. Yeah, Padron Antoni is in the Italian lockdown of the zombie apocalypse. It's like Hungary is one of the only countries that hasn't closed schools, because they say they can't pay the teachers if they close the schools. But people are starting to get pretty nervous here. They've closed like universities, but not kindergartens and grade schools. I think this is going to become an issue pretty soon. If I go here, you just simply relocate. Uber driver asks queen c3. Should I induce f6, or is it a constructive move for black? Was what I was thinking. I'm really concerned about running out of guinea pig cage betting. If they close all the stores, like what am I gonna do for guinea pig betting? Toilet paper's like no problem. f6. Why didn't I play rook d4 there actually? You need to find a whole lot of extra old used newspapers. What is it with the toilet paper? Why is that really a thing? Okay, e4. Is this a good move? I don't know. Yeah, it's something exciting, Bob. I agree. You know, people like that. Of course. It's like being part of a soap opera or something. My daughter was like excited to wear a mask to school, you know. It's like a game. Of course, there's innate, you know. Yeah, I don't know about that, Bob. Tony. That's an interesting question. I don't understand why the state doesn't pay the teachers anyway. They're saying like they can't pay them if they don't work. It's kind of crazy. They would get paid anyway, like you're saying. I agree. It's like really strange. I mean, professors for the universities, they have to have like state university professors had to have a salary too, right? What? The Tom Hanks thing was found to be fake? I don't think so, Mr. Coffee. If it was, that's like fresh this morning. Probably Russian trolls in Africa did a fake Tom Hanks coronavirus troll. There was the trolls who contacted Prince Harry and got him to do an interview pretending they were Greta Thunberg. That's kind of funny, actually. Bob, why don't you do something like constructive like that instead of trolling me? Why don't you like troll Prince Harry or something? Just step it up a notch. I'm just like small stakes, man. I really need to break through here. That's scary. You're such a natural. Do you think I'm like just... Am I hurting your feelings by joking around? I didn't know you were that sensitive. Now we have a little bit of an issue. I guess it's not a problem. I want to make sure my queen can come back to f2. Guard against e1. I forgot how sensitive you are, Bob. I was just playing with you. Don't get hurt. Queen f7. Actually. Rook d8. I'm going to get mated in some lines on e1. I can always play g3, but I didn't really want to do that unless I have to. g3, queen h3, queen d7, g3, queen h6. Actually, g3, queen h6, whatever. Yeah, rook d8 is a threat. Bob, I really thought like we put this behind us. Now you're hurt again? Queen h5. Queen h5 was a strong move. What am I going to do on queen h5? I'm going to have to play... I have a serious problem there. He's threatening rook d8, and my f3's hanging. I guess I can play queen d3. But this exchange is really good for us. This minor piece endgame is better for white. It's possibly a draw. I don't know which way he should exchange rooks there. Probably a draw. but white has the better half of the draw. Oh, wow. G5. Interesting. Putting pawns on the wrong color there. Complex ending. Looks like he's... It's hard to say, actually. What's happening here? I think it was trapped on the side of the board. We have E6. But I might not be able to break through now. It's so blocked. Weird position. He left all those pawns on dark squares. That's why I was surprised by the move G5 earlier. Alright guys, last game for today. The Zen chess. Sorry to you other guys, can't play my more normal length of stream today. Because of the time difference, we got some students. My American students are an hour earlier today. So this is my last game. Endgame lesson. Every game is an endgame. The Zen chess. Alright, bring the Grand Prix attack. Actually, what are you going to play? I thought, do you play Bishop E5 as well, Zen chess? I can't remember. Maybe not. I'm getting better and better at the end game, Uber driver. Let's see. Have to play knight d4 here. This is similar to another variation I was playing, but it's not as good actually. Maybe I can play like in that other variation with knight c6 now. If I can apply this idea that I borrow from the... wonder if this has been tried. Borrowing this from the 3 bishop b5 variation. Black plays a6, but then avoids the exchange of knights. By the way, that's like the best way for black to play, I found, against bishop b5, knight d4, knight f3, a6, and then knight back to c6. Carlsen did in a game. So the point is that this bishop is... I mean, it's just kind of strangely placed there. Although it is temporary. I mean, so what do we get at the end of the day? Like a Grand Prix attack after d6, bishop c4? You try to force it. If e6, e5. If e6, e5, d6, knight e4. That actually looks good for you. So I have to play d6. Especially the younger ones, Jim. I'm sure that like the old school grandmasters are strong in endgames. But I would think that a lot of younger ones would start to lack skills, you know, because of the time controls in modern FIDE events. Endgames are becoming more and more obsolete. I am obsolete. So basically we've got a Grand Prix attack line where he's played A4 and I've played A6, I guess. Typically that's not played. Really, not really inserted in these variations. Remember when I beat Hikaru's stepfather? Normally you're beating your stepchild, but in this case, I was beating his stepfather. That reminds me of the time that I always tell that joke, but when Hikaru insulted Fedorovich and told him the F word when he was a little kid, like 13, and John said he was going to beat up his stepdad. It shut him up, though. It's like, it reminds me of displaced aggression. Displacing my aggression against Bob. So F5, standard, right? Where is Boris Gelfand when we need him? Yeah, this variation is a problem. I don't play this for black normally. So I don't even know what I'm supposed to do here. I haven't castled yet. I wonder if I can use that. The fact that black hasn't castled yet. What do we have, like knight h4? How does this work? If I'm castled here, I mean, clearly my king is unsafe. Now you've got knight takes f7. Really? What about knight e5? Knight e5, queen h5. Oof. Knight e5, queen h5. So I guess I should do h6 right away. Then knight f7, king f7, queen h5 check. You just try to bury me with tactics. I don't want to castle. Knight e5 allows queen h5. Knight e5, queen h5 is very restricting. What if I were to play knight e5, queen h5, d5? Seriously, knight e5, queen h5, d5. Then like bishop f4, h6. We're getting really afield here. All right, let's try it. We've got a minute left. Last game for today. Zen Chess trying to kill me in the opening before I get to an endgame. I don't normally play the setup where I'm playing d6 in the Grand Prix, so bishop d3, knight c6 castles. He just comes back. d6. Probably I can play knight h6 here instead of e6. That looks like it might be a better try. All right, so bishop f4 doesn't really seem like it should work. I can even play this like knight back to g6. Is this tier 3? What? Who's putting in Gari emotes? Oh no. Bob wants to get banned again. I don't understand. I thought we were cool. All right, e takes f5. I guess you're just bored. E takes f5. Knight takes f5. E takes f5, knight takes f5, g4. I can actually play e takes f5. Is there something wrong with that? Yeah. Knight takes f5, g4. I'm getting confused. I guess if g4 we just like take his bishop or something, you know, and figure out what's going on after that. What? Ah. Alright, whatever. I don't know. Alexa, get me a beer. Interesting. So now I have to defend this again? That's a cool solution. Zen chess. Pure evil. You found a way to get something here. Am I allowed the castle? Not yet. Maybe next move. I don't know, Bob, but it concerns me that you'd even think about that. I don't know why. Slightly concerns me. Queen f6. I'm going to try to put it out of my mind now. Maybe we can find you a bisexual chess master who you can appreciate. Number 4 doesn't qualify, I don't think, for that. Nice move. Sanchez is trying to flag me. We're still surviving. I'm up the exchange. Poor Bob. Why don't you go to like some kind of, you know, counseling for sex addiction? Might change your life. Like the guy from the X-Files. Agent Mulder. You could be in the same class, you know, counseling class with Agent Mulder. What am I doing here? Bishop e7? Oh no. I'll have to sack the exchange. No problem. Damn it, Jerry. I can't believe it. Bishop takes d8, bishop takes d8. Zen chess is going to win. No, look, bishop d4 check. I was just kidding. I was just kidding, man. You don't really have that. Faked him out. He's going haywire. Uh-oh, my bishop's trapped. Better be careful here. c3 was a good move. Zen chess is really tough in time pressure. For all this, we have equal material. The dreaded endgame. What? Oh. Is there a mate? I hope I didn't allow a mate. I gotta go. We'll give him a draw. I don't know, I might be better here, but I don't think I can try to win. If my kid could run away, like, out there, I could try to win with my passed A pawn, but I realistically don't think that I'm better here. It's just a draw. Anyway, that was a fun game. We almost lost, but we managed to save it. Good job. Good game, Zen Chess. He might have thought he was winning with Queen E8 check. But we have Bishop takes D8, Bishop D4 check. I mean, this variation, I might not be lost here. Like Queen E8, King G7, Queen F7 check. It just looked... Black should be lost here in this position. I mean, I'm down a pawn and I'm paralyzed on the queen side. Good chess. But I think the opening was a fail. A4. Has this ever been played? Yes. A6. Bishop. Strangely, Bishop D3 not played. That's funny. My move Knight C6 is a novelty. Nothing like undeveloping. Maybe Knight H6. The engine actually recommends the move I played. Now F5. No, D3, Knight E7. This is a novelty by Zen Chess. Apparently unsound. Somewhat unsound. Anyway, guys, thank you for the games. I gotta go. Off to work. Have a great coronavirus. And we'll be back on Sunday with some zombies. Hopefully. For the zombie apocalypse. By Sunday, should be in full force. So thanks for joining me. I am late. I have to go. Good game for the last battle there. Bye-bye. Have a great zombie apocalypse. Bye-bye.